Welcome everyone to Train Tuesday and welcome to August. We're flying through the summer. I'm not sure where the time is going, but I hope you're enjoying it. I'm hoping you're staying cool by maybe spending some time at the layout or working on your module, getting ready for the next modular event. Now, today we're going to be talking about something kind of near and dear to my heart, and that is Bethgon Coalporters. Now, with that being said, if you like the content that we deliver on a weekly basis, please do us a favor, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. That way you're notified every time a new video like this drops into our channel. And do comment. I try to answer as many comments as possible, and we do enjoy the interaction. Now, one thing being said, for this particular video, by the time it lands on our YouTube channel, I will be away on a brief vacation, so give me a few days to get back to you on any comments or questions you have. But once I get back, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions that you may have. So we're going to be talking about Bethgons. As you can see behind me, we've got some Bethgons here, lettered for BNSF as well as Burlington Northern. And these are going to be coming into dealer shops probably about late August. Depending on when you're watching this video, they may have already landed and are shipping now. But we're hoping to have these shipped by the end of August to most dealers. So if you pre-ordered these, chances are you'll get an email or maybe even a phone call from your dealer. If you did not, I highly recommend you talk to the dealer of your choice to get these while you can. I have a feeling they're going to sell out rather quickly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with another Train Tuesday. Now, we announced these back in May of 2022. And you're probably wondering why it took so long. Well, because for the most part, as you can see here in the original release, these bodies underwent some tooling, and they went through some drastic tooling. There's a lot of updates that we're going to talk about and show in this video. They could almost be technically brand new cars, but we couldn't go quite that far. But trust me when I say that the Athearn Product Development team put a lot of hours and a lot of sweat equity into those molds to update them to 21st century standards. I really mean it. These are beautiful cars, and I can't wait to show them off to you. A little bit of prototype data on these, if you're not aware. The Coalporter was developed in an effort to create higher capacity and more efficient coal cars. Now, these were built originally by Bethlehem Steel's at Johnstown American Corporation. And the Bethgon features an all aluminum construction and a unique trough-style bottom for added carrying capacity. Now, this bathtub design, it's increased the cubic capacity of the car, and it gives it the added advantage of a lower center of gravity for better tracking. Now, Coalporters generally operate in solid unit trains, and one end of each car is equipped with a rotary coupler. Now, as you know, a lot of cars that have the rotary couplers, there's a designation painted on the end of that car. This allows a train to be fed through a rotary unloader without uncoupling the cars. Now, I remember back in the 1990s rail fanning Conrail and watching the Conrail Bow power plant job come up. It was just south of Concord, New Hampshire, and Bow had a coal-fired power plant, although I do believe, last I checked, the days of that coal power plant are numbered. But back in the 90s, it was in full operation. And Conrail would bring up their solid unit trains of coal cars, drop them off at the coal plant where a coal plant switcher would perform the duties of just pushing these through the rotary, while the Conrail engines went up to the original Boston and Maine yards in Concord, New Hampshire, and the crew would tie up for the night before going back with the empties. Really cool to watch these. And so some of these cars I've seen rail fanning in recent years as well as back in the 90s. So let's show you what we've got coming real soon. We're going to start in the 1990s with Burlington Northern in these Cascade Green cars. This is 1990s. Now, I spent a brief amount of time in the 90s in Illinois, and when I first came to Illinois, I saw strings of these everywhere. The Cascade Green really looks nice on these cars. Of course, you've got the designation there, letting you know which end has the rotary coupler per the prototype. These are based on actual prototype cars. Now, we're offering these in 5-car sets, and so there's going to be a total of 3 5-car sets. You can see the one set here on your screen, and we've also listed the additional road numbers up there on the screen as well. Now keep in mind, if you want to get better reference for that and want to have it in front of you more often, you can select the links in the video description below. I've provided links for the original PDF announcement so you can see what road numbers we're offering, as well as a link that goes directly to athearn.com. Later on in Illinois, I saw a lot of these as well. I would go to Galesburg and I would see the BNSF. Back then, technically called Burlington Northern Santa Fe. Now, these were early 2000s, and you still see these occasionally. I don't see them as much as I did back in the early 2000s, but that being said, the original Burlington Northern Santa Fe really looks nice. We've offered these in the past. They've been really good sellers, so we're going to offer these early 2000s. If you're a fan of early BNSF, you're going to want to pick these up. 3 different 5-packs to pick up. Going back to my days of rail fanning Conrail and watching the Bow power plant coal train come in, I remember seeing these going through Manchester, Hooksett, and then ending up in Bow, are these Conrail cars. Now, these are late 1990s era cars. However, that being said, if you're a fan of Norfolk Southern or Conrail, or I'm sorry, CSX, you can definitely pick these up. They're still out there. They're still doing their duties. They're just owned by different railroads now. So don't let the 1990s stop you. Again, we've said it before, with some weathering, with some decal work, you can definitely put them on for whatever era you are modeling. And in this case, it could be Norfolk Southern or even CSX. We're going to offer 3 different 5-packs for Conrail 1990s era. And you can see more details in the links in the video description below. Speaking of CSX, we want to offer these 1990s CSX cars. These are really cool. I mean, the fact that these are just coal cars doesn't mean they're not boring. You've got that nice aluminum finish, and you've got a bright yellow to go with it. These definitely would look great on your next Fremo meet. And you have the option of picking up all 3 5-packs of these cars. Again, 1990s era CSX. You knew Union Pacific was going to make its way in here. We've offered Union Pacific in the past, and they continually sell out. So we're going to offer 1990s Union Pacific. It just makes sense. We're going to have 3 different 5-packs for 1990s era Union Pacific as well. And then finally, based on consumer demand, we wanted to offer data only. Now, data only is just 1 pack, of course, because, well, it's data only. You're going to add your road numbers and your road. This is something that we get a lot of requests for through our product suggestion email. So anytime you want to see us produce something in the future and you've got some suggestions, you can email us at athearn-productsuggestions@athearn.com. Again, that email address is athearn-productsuggestions@athearn.com. Now, keep in mind, that doesn't mean that if you send your email today for something that you want to see, it doesn't mean that tomorrow we're going to announce it. But it does go into a stack of options that we look at on a yearly basis to see what road names and what models we're going to announce. And this was a case in point. A lot of folks asking for these 1990s era data only cars. Now let's talk about the features of these cars, and we're going to look at them on video just so you can see everything that's been done to them. Now, of course, just like before, they have the separately applied wire formed grab irons, the etched metal coupler platforms, things of that nature. But one thing that I want to let you know is one of the glaring problems we had with the older cars is when they drilled the holes for those grab irons, well, they drilled straight through the body. Not a big deal, but if you don't have your coal load that can be taken out, it's kind of distracting to see all that silver metal on the inside of your body. Well, that's a thing of the past. These have been redesigned so that the grab irons go exactly where they're supposed to, and you don't have those unsightly holes on the other side of the plastic. We've done some work around the brake wheel and some of that. The end platforms have gone through quite a bit of design changes, and they are going to come factory equipped with the McHenry scale knuckle couplers. However, there's been a lot of work done with the coupler pockets. They're not as big as they were in the previous runs. They're not quite scale, but they're certainly a lot easier on the eyes. They're not quite as big as they were in the previous iterations. Can you put your coupler of choice in there? Absolutely. It's not that big of a deal. Of course, they are going to come with 36-inch machined metal wheels with the RP25 contours, which basically means they will work on any manufacturer's HO scale track. They are highly detailed because of the injection molded body. Now, we say that about all of our models, but one thing I do want you to realize, this isn't just an old car that we put a few new tricks in. This is almost a ground up new car. The amount of detail and attention that was paid to these molds as they were updated for the 21st century is outstanding. So you're going to see better scale fidelity. You're going to see cleaner lines. The rivet detail, all of that is going to come through much, much clearer than it did on previous runs. It's a feast for the eyes if you're into this type of car. And of course, these are painted based on the prototype. Now, the minimum radius on these cars is 18 inches. These really look at home on maybe a club layout. If you're lucky enough to have a large, maybe a spare room or basement HO scale layout, these are perfect for your unit trains. And of course, we can't forget Fremo. Fremo is where these guys would really shine if you want to have a unit train of coal. So again, these are going to be coming into stock at your Athearn dealer probably the end of August. We are watching it now. Hope to have some shipping updates for you soon. But tentatively, end of August, you should see these in your Athearn dealer shop. So if you pre-ordered these, you're probably going to get in touch with your Athearn dealer. He's probably going to let you know that these are coming or they're in stock. If you did not pre-order these, I highly recommend that the first time you watch this episode of Train Tuesday, talk to the dealer of your choice and get an order in, because I have a feeling with all the updates that have been done to these and the fact that we haven't run these in at least 5 years, these are going to go quickly. So you're going to want to talk to your Athearn dealer. Now let's talk a little bit more in detail and get some up close images of this car. All right, here we are. I'm going to use the Burlington Northern as an example. Now, of course, the co-loads can be removed. They're pretty easy to remove. I want to show you. You just grab a corner of it. It's a little bit harder to do on camera, but you just lift that up a little bit, and these will come right out. As you can see there, those posts just kind of hold it in there. The simulated co-loads are removable. That's a nice feature. But here's what I was talking about. If we look carefully here, you can see these nicely done grab irons. If I tilt the car towards the camera, there's no more of those holes. The older runs, that was one distraction that we had on the previous runs, and that's gone. Another thing too, as I hold this up, take a look at the inside bracing. This is all new too, and this has all been redone. This is a lot better fidelity than what was had in the past. So you don't have to run these with the coal load. You can simply run them just like this, and they still look absolutely amazing. I'm going to switch this around so you can see there's no more of those holes from the grab irons like before. Really nice metal etched crossover. And here you can see that coupler box is a lot smaller than it was before. Much better design. And again, keep in mind that instruction sheets or exploded views for this car, if they're not on the web at the time of this recording, they will be shortly. We're doing that as soon as models come in. We're putting exploded views of all of our models on the website so you can see exactly how these cars are put together for modifying to your like or putting couplers on of your liking. Also, we do that so that should something happen, we hope they don't, but should a detail become missing or something gets lost or broken, we do have enough parts to carry for both service and warranty situations. So if that ever happens to you, you can contact us, athearnhelp@horizonhobby.com, and look up the part number of your particular car set at athearn.com, and scroll down a little bit. You'll see a blue button that says manuals. Select that manual, and you'll also see a link with a PDF exploded view. And that way, when you're talking to the service tech, you can let them know exactly what you have and what part you're looking for. Now, keep in mind, we don't keep enough parts for folks out there that like to do scratch building and things of that nature. Those parts are just for service and warranty only. It's a limited amount because we only produce a limited amount of these cars. So there you have it. These are just absolutely beautiful cars. Everything is legible under magnification. If you're my age, it's definitely going to need magnification. You've got your nice metal wheel sets. Out of the box, these are just really nicely done cars, and they're going to sell extremely well. Now, they are Athearn based, so they're not Genesis. But if you really wanted to, you could absolutely add further details of your choice, mainly a cut lever and an air hose. But if you're someone that just appreciates the detail as they are from the factory, you can just run them as is. Well, that's all I've got for you on this episode of Train Tuesday. Keep in mind, these should be in dealer stores, I'm hoping, probably by the end of August. So talk to your dealer now if you weren't on the list. I hope you guys all enjoy your summer as we keep on going through the hot days of August. Enjoy some time at the layout. Keep cool. And once again, be happy, be healthy, be safe, do some good modeling, and above all, high greens. Take care, everyone.